Hello students, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will go through the NCERT question answers from the chapter Natural Resources and Their Use. I will explain them in a very simple way so that you can easily write them in your exams. Now, let us first start with the big questions given at the beginning of the chapter. First question, how do we categorize natural resources? So, as we learned in this chapter, natural resources are categorized based on their uses and based on whether they are renewable or not. Based on their uses, they are categorized into three groups: resources essential for life, resources for materials, and resources for energy. Resources essential for life includes air, water, and food, which are necessary for survival. Resources for materials include forest, soil, and minerals, which are used to make various products. Resources for energy includes coal, petroleum, sunlight, and wind, which help produce energy and power. Natural resources are also categorized based on whether they are renewable or not, as renewable and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources can be replenished naturally over time, while non-renewable resources are limited and cannot be replaced quickly. So, this classification helps us understand the proper use and conservation of natural resources. Second question, what is the connection between distribution of natural resources and different aspects of life? In this chapter, we learned that natural resources are not evenly distributed across our planet or even within countries. This uneven distribution affects different aspects of life. It influences human settlements as people tend to live near areas with water, fertile land, and other resources. It affects economic activities because agriculture, mining, and industries depend on the availability of resources. It shapes trade patterns as regions and countries exchange resources they do not have. It influences international relations and conflicts, since competition for resources can create tensions. Thus, the distribution of natural resources plays an important role in shaping human life, trade, development, and relationships between regions and countries. Third question, what are the implications of unsustainable use or overexploitation of natural resources? Unsustainable use or overexploitation of natural resources means using resources faster than nature can restore or regenerate them. This can lead to many problems. It causes depletion of natural resources, making them scarce in the future. It leads to environmental degradation such as deforestation, soil degradation, water scarcity, and pollution. It results in loss of biodiversity as many plants and animals lose their habitats. It contributes to climate change because of increased pollution and damage to ecosystems. It creates social and economic problems such as unequal access to resources and conflicts. Thus, overexploitation harms both present and future generations and affects the balance of nature. Now, questions and activities given at the end of the chapter. First question, what can make what is today a renewable resource non-renewable tomorrow? Describe some actions that can prevent this from happening. So, this question is asking you to think beyond definitions. It asks, if a resource is renewable today, can it become non-renewable tomorrow? And if yes, how does that happen and how can we stop it? So, you must explain two things: what makes a renewable resource turn to a non-renewable resource and what actions can prevent this. So, a renewable resource can become non-renewable if it is used faster than nature can restore or regenerate it. Overexploitation of resources like groundwater can reduce their availability. Deforestation can destroy forests faster than they can regrow. Pollution can damage water, soil, and other natural resources. Some actions that can prevent this are: use resources judiciously and responsibly, practice rainwater harvesting and conserve water, encourage afforestation and prevent deforestation. reduce pollution, and adopt sustainable practices. Use resources at a rate that allows nature to restore and regenerate them. Thus, careful and sustainable use of resources will ensure their availability for present and future generations. Second question. Name 5 ecosystem functions that serve humans. So, you need to identify how ecosystems naturally help humans. An ecosystem function means the natural processes performed by ecosystems like forests, rivers, soil, oceans that keep life going. Think of ecosystems as a life support system for Earth. Plants give oxygen, nature cleans water, forests control climate, soil organisms make soil fertile. So, you can write the answer as 5 ecosystem functions that serve humans are oxygen production. Plants and forests produce oxygen through photosynthesis, which is essential for human life. Food production. Ecosystems provide food such as fruits, vegetables, grains and fish for humans. Water purification. Wetlands, forest and soil naturally filter and clean water before it reaches rivers and groundwater. Climate regulation. Forests and oceans help control temperature, rainfall and carbon dioxide levels, reducing climate change effects. Soil formation and fertility maintenance. Decomposition of organic matter by microorganisms forms fertile soil that supports agriculture. Third question. What are renewable resources? How are they different from non-renewable ones? What can people do to ensure that renewable resources continue to be available for our use and that of future generations? Give 2 examples. So, renewable means nature can replace it again after some time. For example, forests can grow again and groundwater can be replenished by rainfall if we use them carefully. But non-renewable resources like coal and petroleum take millions of years to form. So, once they are used, they cannot be replaced quickly. So, here you need to write what are renewable resources and difference from non-renewable resources and what can we do to protect renewable resources and give 2 examples. So, you can write the answer as renewable resources or natural resources that can be replenished or regenerated by nature over time. Examples include water, forest, sunlight and wind. They are different from non-renewable resources because renewable resources can be restored naturally while non-renewable resources are limited and cannot be replaced quickly once used. To ensure that renewable resources remain available for present and future generations, people should use resources judiciously and responsibly, avoid overexploitation, conserve water and forest, and practice sustainable methods such as rainwater harvesting and afforestation. Examples: water and forest. Fourth question. Identify cultural practices in your home and neighborhood that point to mindfulness and in the use of natural resources. So, you need to observe your home and neighborhood and find cultural practices, that is traditions, habits and customs that show mindful, that is careful and respectful use of natural resources. So, you are not just listing things, you are showing how people traditionally conserve nature in daily life. First one is saving water. Saving water by using it carefully for washing, cleaning and gardening and not wasting it unnecessarily. Many families also reuse water from washing vegetable or rice for watering plants. Another practice is the use of traditional methods in cooking, such as using clay pots or pressure cooking, which require less energy and retain nutrients. In many households, people follow religious and cultural respect for nature, such as worshipping trees like neem and peepal tree, which encourages protection of plants and forest. The practice of composting kitchen waste is also common in some homes, where organic waste is converted into manure for plants instead of being thrown away. In neighborhoods, we can also see rainwater harvesting systems and community efforts to plant trees during festivals or special occasions. These practices show that cultural traditions often promote careful, respectful and sustainable use of natural resources. Next question. What are some considerations to keep in mind in the production of goods for our current use? So, when we make goods, the production should be sustainable, eco-friendly, safe and fair, and it should have low waste. Good production is not just about making more, it is about making responsibly without harming people or nature. So you can write the answer as some considerations to keep in mind in the production of goods for our current use are natural resources should be used wisely and carefully. Overuse of non-renewable resources should be avoided. Non-renewable resources like coal and petroleum are limited, so we should not overuse them. Traditional and sustainable methods should be adopted wherever possible. Traditional methods and eco-friendly practices can reduce damage to nature. Biodegradable and less polluting materials should be used. Using biodegradable materials helps reduce waste. Air, water and soil pollution should be reduced or avoided. The needs of future generations should also be considered. So with this, we have completed the NCERT question and answers from the chapter Natural Resources and Their Use. I hope you found it easy to understand. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. We will see you again in our next video. Bye bye.